if my dad does a 4th edition at some point, maybe he would take out Fonnies. But it's a really tough one to decide what to take out.
Yeah. Okay. For sure.
Well, my dad wrote the book on Chrysos. He not a book, but he wrote a very important article on Chrysos. So that Chrysos collection was his. He actually built it, and there was a discovery piece. He knew of it's the smallest fraction hadn't been discovered yet, but he knew it existed because it existed in silver. And so it took like 10 years for it to finally come up in the market, and then he was able to buy it and complete his collection.
All right, so we went over this auction last time we were with you, and it was prior to the sale, and now it's post sale. Yep. And I thought we would look through some of these and see, some of the values that they ended up bringing. I thought when I looked through here a little bit ago, I seen what I thought were some steals of deals in this. And
yeah, I thought the CNG sale in general went pretty. It was strong in a couple areas, but in general, I think that most of the coins went at estimate or just above or below. And I think that in general, I don't think the coins were runaways.
Yeah.
So
this was kind of a runaway here. I thought that they had an estimate of 750 and it went for $4,000. So,
yeah, I mean, some of those early Celtic and Gaulish pieces, there's a big market for those in Europe. And so those can be driven pretty strongly by that market over there.
Okay, yeah, and then we talked a little about the Paris C, and I thought it didn't. I thought it might go for a bit more than. I wasn't all that blown away by its realized price. What did you think about that?
I thought it was kind of where it should be.
Okay.
I think 35,000 was fair for it. It's not as nice as some of the other ones that have come up that have brought a lot more. And so I thought the estimate might have been a little bit too high. I think that it might have done better if it was an estimate of 15. That may have pulled in more clients. I had a client that was interested in it, and he kind of got scared off by the estimate a little bit.
Huh.
So
another thing that I would, right next to it here, we have this, and I seen you had one close to it in your auction not long ago, and I almost pulled the trigger on it. I held off because I didn't know the coin well enough.
Right.
And I've seen a few others sale, and they've all been pretty close. I think yours was pretty close. Yours was a bit nicer.
Yeah.
But so that's a pretty solid 700. I've seen several of them go at that price, so it's a pretty. I was surprised.
It's a common coin, and so you can really get some. You can start to develop some regularity with coins that come up on a regular basis.
Yeah, I was surprised to see how steady that price was on those. I was a little surprised. I thought this would go for more, and only brought a couple $100 more in estimate.
Yeah, like I said, there was definitely some softness in some of the areas. I had a client that I was bidding for in this auction, and I got quite a few of the coins for him. In fact, here, let me bring up my spreadsheet of what I've got for him. I actually had a few people I was bidding for, but CNG auction.
Yeah, we're gonna get to my B. I was blown out of the water for what that went for. I was a little frustrated.
Yeah, so now so there was a hoard of Tarentum, and so there's been quite a bit of Tarentum on the market for the last 2 years.
I've noticed that.
And so so for this type with the youth underneath working on the hoof,
yep.
That we used to get $3,000 for those.
I would have paid much. I would have went higher than this if I would have been there.
Yeah, and the last one I had, I think I got $3,500 for, And so it's just that there's been a lot of this die that have come up, and so people are satisfied. And so when a market gets satisfied, the price starts to drop.
Sure. I would have been there on this one if I would have.
It's a great coin on both sides, well centered, and yeah, that's a very, very important type. So,
and a great buy at that price. I thought that was a steal of a deal.
I agree.
And then we were talking about this lovely piece,
right?
And it did beat. It did good. What 19,000?
Yeah, I had I bid on that, and I had a bid up to 15,000. Okay, and it went for 19.
Yeah,
so
strong
I felt like 15 was enough for it. And just looking at my notes here, what did I say about it? 28. So I said, I wrote that particular coin brought 18,000 in 2018. I said much better than most, especially with the treatment of the eyes, which are great. And so I was trying to get it a little bit cheaper than it went for last time, and it basically went only 1,000 more than it did back in 2018.
Yeah, I remember we talked about that before, and it's interesting to see where it ended up there. It brought a strong price for sure. The next one was 28. Or was that just? It was 28. Okay, so the next one was 110. Don't look at the screen. Look away. All right, here we go. 110. Oh yeah, we talked about this one, and I would have probably went on this one too. I thought this went for a pretty good price. What did you think on this one for 1,600 out the door?
Too much money.
Too much money, really. I thought this was a nice piece. It must be more common than
Thesos stators or tetrams are extremely common. Okay. I used to buy and sell these for $500 all day long.
Okay, well that's what it had estimated there. I just thought it was nice. Pretty piece.
It's nice. I think that's 1,600 plus 28%, plus 22.5% actually for this sale.
A little strong.
So you're, what is that? Let's see, 1,600 times 0.225 plus 1,600. So that's almost $2,000. That's I wouldn't ask more than $1,200 for that.
Really? Okay. Wow. Good to know. Good to know. Because I thought that was actually
way too much money for that.
Awesome. Hello, Joseph Lopez in Southeast Stacker. Good to see you. Good to see you. Okay. Well, that's some good information. I thought otherwise on that, so that's good to know. Then I wanted to look at 128. Oh, and this octodrom. Is that a fairly? I mean, that's almost an ounce, guys, of silver. They're 28.43 grams. So it's a big piece, octodrom. Is that and it went for a pretty good. What did you think about this piece? Is this rare?
So I bid on this as well. I bid up to 25,000. It brought 16,000 back in 2019. So I felt like 25 was a very strong price for it. And 35 was strong. Yeah,
I was surprised. I thought that was strong too.
So I think I probably bid it to 27 and then let it go. So I thought that was a very, I think, look, in 2019 it only brought 16, and I went 10,000 above that.
Wow, interesting.
So it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, and that's the same coin. Have you seen many other examples of this?
They come up. This is quite nice for the type. A lot of them will have die breaks in them on the upper side. This one does not, and so that's why we stretched for it. But I wouldn't have paid 35,000 for it.
Boy, it is solid all the way. Look, I mean, there is not much of a. I guess there's a little crack there, maybe, or scratch or something.
No, but they'll have like a big die break going all the way through the horse. So yeah. It'd be substantial. And this is one we heavily went after. And in fact, you know, let's see. Yeah, it didn't have an old pedigree, and so I wouldn't have gone higher without the high pedigree. It only goes back to 2018, so it's not that far.
Okay, and then Aaron, we talked a little bit about these guys. Again, this piece. Now I know for you this is probably an ugly piece because you've seen probably thousands of these.
No, that was cheap. That was cheap.
I thought that was. I would have bought that if that. Like this is another one.
That was cheap for a Philip II. That was definitely cheap.
Okay, good, because I was like, man, that I think I would have been all over that. If
Yeah, you're talking like 4,250 all in. You know, it's not bad.
Good to know. Good to know. Let's see, what was that? Okay, 146. Yeah, and then we looked at these, and I kind of guessed maybe $1,000 difference in price, and I got that pretty close.
Yeah.
So interesting to see that. What did you think about that price? About what you were thinking, probably, right?
Let's see, 146. Yeah, that's reasonable for that. You know, when you get these nice like portraitures of Philip, they tend to you know, go for, you know, 5,000 plus, and so I think that was that's a very good price at that level. So
cool, nice.
Definitely like low retail. So
very nice, very. I like
yeah,
that.
that's a beautiful coin.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have a problem asking $6,500 for that coin.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I liked it as well. I thought that was another good one. Yeah, there was some. I went through here. I was like, man, but this one was in your. This was your doofus buy. Let's touch on that since we're here.
It was.
On Aaron's podcast, Ancient Coin Podcast. Go check it out. He had this as his doofus purchase, I believe, of one of.
I did.
And we had actually talked about this before. And
got a plan crack. It doesn't have an old pedigree. It was
no eye there.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous price. It's not it's a $4,500 to $5,000 coin tops. Yeah, and that's pushing it. In fact, I was talking to the biggest buyer in the world, and he couldn't believe it when I pointed this out to him.
Yeah. Well, I haven't seen very many of them, so I'm going to be interested.
Common.
More,
common. They come up. Not rare.
Very interesting. Okay, 170. Oh, yep, the Delphi. Now, we talked a bit about this one. What did you think on this as far as a realized price?
You know, it was fine. I think that's, you know, that's in range. I mean, the Triobals, I probably wouldn't have paid more than $1,200 for it, hammer. But you know, it's a popular type. It's just, you know, the little fractions generally don't bring as much unless they're really fantastic. I wouldn't say this one's real fantastic. I think it's probably a little bit of a strong price, but it's not outlandish.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about a piece, guys, that's 1 gram. So this little tiny 1 gram piece of silver I've got in my fingers here is about the same weight as this little coin here, and it brought $1,500. It's
well, that's don't forget, that's just hammer.
Right, so it'd be more than that.
22.5% on top of that. Here, let's take a look here. So that coin sold in CNG in 2022. So let's just take a quick gander at this. I'll tell you what it brought. I'm going to go to Coin Archives real quick. We can do a quick take a look at it real quick, and I'll tell you what it brought, and we'll see if that was a good price or not.
Okay.
Sold in CNG number 120, and it was lot number 216. Okay, so that coin brought $1,400 in 2022.
So that's a pretty good price for it then, all around. Probably not bad. I mean, not much difference, but
not much difference.
Staying solid.
Show some more lots. Yeah, I think it's okay. You know, so I know the guy who owned this coin. He unfortunately passed away recent, and CNG got the collection. So that's why there was a lot of coins that had just sold recently that ended up in this auction, because he passed away.
Okay, yeah. So and this looks really rough, guys, and it is rough, but it's kind of a unique coin. Comes from a very interesting place. It has a denomination in a much larger size with the most gorgeous art. There's only a few known in the world, and he's got it in 100 Greatest Ancient Coin book if you want to take a look at it.
So first, tri-oval might be one of the finer ones. Let's see here, Delphi tri-oval.
But yeah, that's cool because it's got these little. It's got a dolphin over here and a dolphin over here on this side. In between these bull horns, a dolphin underneath this ram. Pretty cool. And if you'd see the larger coin, you'd understand why this one is somewhat interesting.
So these do bring a lot of money in higher quality. And they're relatively rare. So I mean, the most expensive one ever to sell, it's a little bit different style, brought almost $30,000. And then there was one that brought 24,000. One that brought
the same tri-hemi-oval.
It's let's see here. Yes, but high quality.
Woo.
You know, much stronger, much clearer. I would say this C and G one was in the ranking of them.
You want to share your screen?
Sure, why not?
Okay, let me drop this one right quick. Because I'd be interested to see that myself, actually.
Present and share my screen. Share. Let's do that one. Sure. Okay.
There we are.
So here you can see.
Oh yeah.
How much nicer they are.
Oh wow, yeah. Look at that one. Third down is really nice too.
Yeah. And these were all in 2021. There was a very important sale of fractions that happened at NAC and Nomos, and that's where these came out of. And then you can see down to 6,500, 6,000 for that one. So you know they bring good money, but you can see how clear the reverse is.
Woo, that's nice, yeah.
And I think we're going to get to ours here in a second. Here's ours, all the way down here.
Yep.
So
very cool. All right, well that's awesome to see. Yes.
In fact, here they are side by side.
Okay. Yep.
There it is when it showed up in 2022, and there it is in 2024. So in the rankings of value, they're right in line.
Holding steady.
Yeah. So, but you can see the differences in the pricing. Now, I would say somebody paid a lot of money for these, you know, but they're pretty fantastic. I mean, look at that.
No doubt.
And pretty incredible. So, in any case.
Awesome. Thank you for that.
Sure.
And now let me
stop screen. There we go.
Back here. Okay, onward we go. Was gonna go 170. Oh yeah, I'm gonna bypass. This wasn't a bad owl that went for $1,100.
Oh, it's in line.
In line.
I mean, it's probably a good buy.
Yeah, I would have been happy with that.
But again, you know, like Athens they're a dime a dozen these days. So,
right.
You know, it is what it is.
Yeah, and these turtles here, boy, this was a strong one.
That was very strong. That was ridiculously strong.
Very nice, very good. I must admit,
it's not a $17,000 coin.
But no, I believe that.
No, not for it's a land turtle. I mean,
and the land turtle.
You know, I mean, it's and there are quite a few that come up that are very, very. Look, that sea turtle right there for 6,500 is a much better buy.
Yeah. Okay.
In fact,
that's the one I'm kind of looking for. One if I find one, that's probably still a little bit high for me, but I'd like to get an original too. But okay.
Yeah, so on 186, I had a bid up to 12,000, and I went for 17. 12,000 was ridiculous.
Okay, wow, cool.
17,000 was ridiculous. I was going to go to I went to 12 on it and didn't get it.
Okay.
And NAC in my notes said NAC had one and it brought 11,000 Swiss francs. So, you know, we were right in line with what it should be, and somebody way overpaid for it.
Okay. Very interesting. Very cool to know. 201. And I wanted to, yep, this Pan brought in just a little. What did you think? I know you've dealt a little with these. What did you think about this coin?
Surprised it sold.
Okay. Tell me a bit about it.
It's not that, you know, there's been a lot of them on the market. Does it have a pedigree? Move down.
No.
No pedigree,
No
which
pedigree.
means it's a new find.
Okay. Got it.
Most likely it's a new find. There's
Okay.
been a lot of these that have come on the market in the last 5 years with the side profile. And so now it's, you know, they're bringing between 50 and 75,000 if they sell for a while. And I'm surprised they actually sold it. In fact, you know, they may have bought it in. Who knows if they actually did sell it.
Interesting.
It's not one of the better ones.
Yeah, I noticed it was not. I have seen it.
The beard is off. It's just, you know, I mean, look, if you're going to buy those, there's lots of them that have come onto the market. And my feeling is if you're going to buy a coin for 70,000, almost $85,000, you should get one with a pedigree.
Right. Okay.
Having a track record on a coin over $50,000 isn't the worst thing.
Sure. No doubt. I kind of like this coin. I know
it's a good price for 1,400. I think that's quite fair. Those Ionia pieces, I've handled quite a few of them. It's scarcer, not unique or rare. I would say that's, you know, right in line with what it should be. I think it was a decent buy for what it was. They typically come really dark like that, and that one's really nicely balanced. So I think that was fair.
Yeah, that is. I liked it too. So that's an Ionia from Ionia as well, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, didn't know that. I really like this. I know you've made fun of this coin a few times, but I like the little.
So when these Heck Days came out in the 90s, there wasn't a lot of them coming out until the 90s. They were very scarce, and so they were bringing, you know, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a piece, and then the market got satisfied. Then they went way down, and now they're starting to come back a little bit. But you know, this is also, I believe, part of the slabbing market is also pushing some of this because a lot of these coins can be really high grade, and so they can get these decent designations for that reason.
Cool. Yeah. So this rooster is actually, these are incuse. So the one side, so actually, you know, this is poking out of the coin, but this is incuse. This is in the coin.
That's a small coin, so it's easier probably in the manufacturing to make one in incuse.
Okay.
When you're hammering such a small coin.
Okay. And we're getting close to the end of the hour. I gotta hurry up here. But this one, Aaron, it hurt me a little bit. I was hoping to see this go for quite a bit less, and it kind of blew the doors off there. So
yeah.
Did you get this coin? I know you were interested in it as well.
Let me see, did I have a bid on that in the end? 238. No, yeah, I bid it up to 4,500.
Okay. That's more where I was thinking it would sell, and
so I bid it up to probably 5,000 and let it go. Look, the left wing is a little bit off, and I've seen them better centered. I felt like 4,500 to $5,000 plus the juice was plenty. I think 7,000 plus 22.5% is too much.
A little over. I was hoping you'd say that because, yeah, that's what I was hoping.
I mean, you know, again, that's 0.55 plus what was it? 7,000. So that's $8,575. It's not an $8,500 coin.
Okay, yeah, cool. All right, that's good
If
to
you
hear.
go back, if I went back 20 years, these coins were selling for between $1,000 and $1,500.
Where was I at, Aaron? Where was I? All right, very cool. We're winding down on our time here. Let me see if I can find the coin that I have here. Didn't get it listed. Oh, here it is. Okay. So this one I have in my hand here as well. And this is an example I want to use. I actually prefer my coin here, aesthetically speaking. I think it's really nice. Now there are a few things about this coin that there's some detail I'm missing, but I thought this went for a pretty good price, and I would have taken this, and then so I can keep a hold of this one I have and not have to sell it and sell this one.
Yeah, I think it's sold exactly where it should. I was looking for a client a couple of years ago for one of these for about a year and a half, and we were trying to target around $2,000, $1,900, and so this is exactly where I would have expected this to go.
Okay, yeah, I don't know which way you would go. Like, I think I noticed for some, I mean, for me, I prefer this coin aesthetically, and I don't know if you were to send these into NGC, this one on screen may get a better designation. I'm not sure. What do you think about that, Aaron?
You know, again, these come high grade. Typically, you might have some weak striking on the Zeus seated side.
Yep.
You know, again, this has become this coin has become popular because of the slabbing situation. And so you have a lot of people buying this coin. This coin, again, 20 years ago, it was only a $400 to $500 coin. And so this is being driven by the slabbing market.
Okay. Interesting. I would like to know, like, aesthetically for me, I don't know, it's the toning. I like how well, like, there's really smooth chest here. If you notice on his, it seems to be a little bit more porous or rough kind of. So yeah, I just find like this is a good example of where, you know, knowing your coin, or aesthetically speaking, you know, knowing what you're after.
So if I got this coin in my shop, I would ask, I would probably ask $2,200 for it, and then settle out at $1,800 if I had to.
Okay. Okay. Very cool, Aaron. Well, let's see. I wanted to quick ask you, how's your third edition of the greatest 100 greatest coming? Is that out yet for people to get a hold of?
Third edition's been out for several months now. You can get it on our website or on Amazon, I believe, as well. If you buy from us, my father will autograph it for you.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap this one up. Aaron, thank you so much for taking the time and walking through this stuff. And
anytime.
Everybody hit the thumbs up for Aaron here. I greatly appreciate him helping us out here. Hope to get you back on in another month here, and maybe we can do it again.
Sure. Yeah. Well, somebody's asking what number of the Lydian trite. What's that? What's the question again? What number is the Lydian trite? What does that mean?
Dub C, and what number is the Lydian trite? Oh, okay. Let's go back to those trites that were there. I bet he was talking about those NQs. Are these the trites that
you're talking about trite with the wart on the nose? Oh, of the top 100. Let's see. I don't know if there's a trident for that one or if it's the Chrysos. Let's see. I think I have a third edition here. Yeah, I do. It's gonna be right at the beginning. As we start out with the striated, the very first coin, and then you get the coinage of Chrysos. The trite does not make the 100 greatest.
Okay. Awesome. And
word on the nose. It is a popular type because it's the Persians, and there's a lot of people, because the Persians are mentioned in the Bible and the Old Testament, that a lot of people collect that Lydian type for that reason. But you know, it probably should be in the 100 greatest. Look, you can only put 100 coins in, right? You have to like drop some out. It's just the nature of the business. And guys like Chrysos is a lot more popular. So because Chrysos did a whole bimetallic denomination.
There you go. There's, oh, it's popping in and out. Yeah, that's it. There you go. Yep.
So he does a lot more. And then you have the coin of Bonnies as well, which is the first time a person was ever named on a coin. So
Yep.
so it's, it's tough, right? You can only put so many coins in. So
Sure.
I mean, I would say there's some Roman coins that should be in here that are not. You just have to kind of pick and choose. So I would say if I was gonna redo it, if my dad does a fourth edition at some point, maybe he would take out Bonnies. But it's a really tough one to decide what to take out.
Yeah. Okay. For sure. For sure.
Well, my dad wrote the book on Chrysos. He not a book, but he wrote a very important article on Chrysos. So that Chrysos collection was his. He actually built it, and there was a discovery piece. He knew of it's the smallest fraction hadn't been discovered yet, but he knew it existed because it existed in silver. And so it took like 10 years for it to finally come up in the market, and then he was able to buy it and complete his collection. And so a lot of people use his Berk numbers based on that collection. And my dad sold the collection that's in the book. He sold it to a client for about 125,000. And the client's here in Chicago. And I've told the client he could probably get between $1 million and $2 million.
Oh man, I bet.
It's the 100 greatest. It's the book. There's tons of prototypes in it, and it's the only collection. It's the collection that everybody bases their Berk reference numbers off of. So you got to imagine it's worth more.
Oh man.
So
For sure.
So in any case, but in fact, my dad would get really upset because people would use his dating that he used in this article that he wrote his collection on and wouldn't give him credit. And so he would get really upset. So
Sure.
you can imagine,
Sure.
So in any case, so I think when my dad first wrote the book, he wrote 150 articles, and from the 150, they had to whittle it down, or 125, and then had to whittle it down to 100 because that's the parameters of the book. 100.
Yeah, that had to be hard, no doubt.
1,800 years of ancient coin production. There's a lot of coins that could be in the book.
For sure.
Just the nature of it. So anyway.
Okay, well, we'll get you back to go over some more of those next time, Aaron. I don't want to keep you all day because I would for sure. So
well, thanks guys. Appreciate it. Glad to come on anytime.
All right, thanks for hanging out, guys, and we will catch you all on the next one.